Rianna Ramlochan is a quantum energy healer, holistic therapist, and life coach. Her form of healing involves release, clearing, and healing on mind, soul, body. From unhealed wounds, pain, and ancestral trauma and dark energies. She's trained in pranic healing, spiritual response therapy, Reiki, crystal healing, access consciousness, theta healing, and other modalities. She believes that the planet is evolving, as we all are. And so, Rianna, welcome to the Ripple Effect Evolution.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me here. I know we met a while ago and we had spoken so many times about, what we're going to speak about today.
Yes. So it's finally manifested itself.
Yes.
It took us a couple of years, but tell us what inspired you to become a healer?
You can say I was born with certain abilities and gifts. My family, there were shamanic healers in my family lineage as well. And I went through some really intense paranormal, supernatural experiences and situations. And I was always wondering why I could see things others couldn't. I could feel things others couldn't. I was highly empathic, so I would feel everything happening around me. And I had a really hard time as a child growing up and not having guidance or answers. So I went out there looking as I grew up, and I would end up in places where I probably ended up with more trauma and unanswered questions. And in my early...
So getting bad answers led you to become a healer for yourself?
Well, the more I felt the need to always help people. My passion is especially being highly empathic is children and animals. They being the brightest lights on our earth, and seeing how much harm comes to them. And I think it's really important more than ever for us to be at our most healed versions, to really guide and protect them. But they are the future of humanity, and they carry so much light. And what is happening to so many of our innocents, it's creating a lot of darkness, and it's the symptoms of what is playing out on earth today. But before I realized this was one of my main purposes, to help humanity, to help guide people and help them raise an awareness and consciousness, I had to go on a deep journey of doing that for myself. And it's always ongoing. Evolution and healing is always ongoing.
It's never a static thing.
Yeah. So when I went through some really dark nights of the soul. I even ran from healing. I didn't want to be a healer at one point. I said, my gifts felt like a curse. So many challenges came with that.
A lot of healers feel that way, and a lot of people run from that.
I did run from it for a long time, and in the last few years, I realized it was going through a major activation, and we were jumping into a different frequency with the planet. And in the last few years, even though I worked in corporate for most of my life, for like 20-something years, I actually kept being pulled back into the realm of spirituality and wellness and healing. And I linked with many different healers and groups all over the world, many different modalities, and each one was a stepping stone.
Speaking about that, could you tell us what is theta healing? What is pranic healing? So people who don't know anything about this level of healing.
My healing techniques involve working in a theta healing mode. It's a mode where we access 7th-plane consciousness, connecting to source energy consciousness, and working with that divine energy. And using sacred alchemy, working with the angelics, and going deep within a person's being, working at a soul energy consciousness level, and their chakra systems, their aura, their belief systems, to see what could be causing blocks in their life. Because I've discovered that every form of illness or physical imbalance within us, the root cause of it is not only surface, it's always very deep.
It's a deeper spiritual thing.
It could be unresolved trauma, abuse a client would have someone would have gone through.
You're talking about childhood trauma too, not just...
Yeah, and then we carry across so much trauma from even past lives. So all these things are affecting us.
Not everybody believe in past lives.
No, I know, but trust me, reincarnation does exist. So we would have gone through so many things on this planet. And then this planet itself has been run on so much falseness, illusions, corruption, negativity. What we are going through right now is what people term the Kali Yuga.
Yes.
Planetary end times, the end games.
But I also believe it's happening for a reason, that we're going into the golden age, so that we should be seeing some light at the end of the tunnel.
There is a lot of light coming in, for sure. What we are seeing playing off here is literally tons of light pouring into the planet, creating glitches in the darkness that we've been in for so long. So a lot of things are coming to the surface.
As
a lot
people
of things
say,
are being
you're saying
revealed.
glitches, so they believe in that the matrix is crumbling.
What is happening when they talk about the end, planetary end times is the end of 3D. We lived in very early times in what was called the golden age, the golden era. And then Earth, I believe, and many other channelers and healers would talk about this. A lot of what we were told in traditional history is a lie, is that forces basically hijacked the Earth, and the Earth fell into a very dark density known as 3D, which and we went on like that for many ages until what is happening now is we're going through a reset, a recalibration, going back into the golden age, into a golden new Earth, into 5D.
Yes.
With that, it requires clearing and purging of thousands of years of darkness and corruption, individually, collectively, and that's a lot. So there are people.
So you see a lot of light is coming in. Is that why people have a lot of pains and aches in their body? Is it that things are clearing out?
So
is it that
this light is like source, God conscious, really powerful frequency. So when it enters the planet, it enters us individually. Things that are not a match in vibration to that we are carrying around, unhealed wounds, suppressed emotions, unresolved trauma, all of those things are going to be triggered. Things that people may not have ever dealt with, or not even aware of that's going on in their subconscious. It's been triggered and amplified to be healed and cleared so they could anchor in and align to the higher frequencies of the ascension.
Correct.
That's playing out in the awakening. However, many people are not aware that is going on, and they're running to different,
not choosing it either.
and they want to hold on to the old way of living, which I don't believe was serving humanity in a good way. I mean, there's so much atrocious things that have been happening in a sense in our society to humanity, and I could not.
So how could we start to access this light or to start the healing in ourselves?
It takes each person, first of all, making an individual choice and saying they want to be the most authentic, healed version of themselves. They want to overcome what negativity and challenges they have been facing in their lives, and seeking the right help. Because a lot of what's existing out there is not, when people go out there sometimes for help, it actually makes things worse for them. So looking for authentic therapists, healers, coaches, the right knowledge, techniques, and tools to expand their consciousness, to make them aware, to raise their vibration, raise their consciousness, heal, keep healing and aligning to that light.
So they're allowed saying, like, some healers are not doing a proper job, so people get worse off.
Yeah, I mean, that's worldwide. It's very rampant in Trinidad, where so many people come to me, and even in my own life experience, going to people, and I would end up worse off than before. But if they're not accessing pure energies, or working with pure light, or working with something that's really of God, and maybe they're working with false light entities and stuff, when a client opens their space to that person, it could cause more things,
So how could we start to just even a simple one, like start to heal your traumas? How could we start to heal your trauma?
I notice a lot of people have been going online and trying to self-heal and just do things what they see online. If it was that easy, nobody would have issue. It takes really working with someone who knows what they're doing to go within that person's space, to work with them at a subconscious level, at a soul energetic level, to be able to help.
So you're talking further deeper than a therapist, a psychologist, or a psychiatrist.
Definitely.
So that trauma needs to be healed on a spiritual level.
Yeah, it might involve techniques like what we spoke about, hypnosis, or healing, working with, somebody who really knows what they're doing, who's trained, who's experienced, to be able to go into that person's space and help them start to find the root cause of their issues.
Are there small techniques that people could do to cleanse their own aura?
Definitely. But what I've found is if people have so many things within them that are keeping them blocked, keeping them in, maybe going through depression, anxiety and stuff, they're not able to even do these simple things for themselves.
So let's first of all tell people what your aura is. Your aura is the energy field around your body.
Yeah, all have everything has an energetic field around it.
So can you see people's aura?
I could sense it, and when I go into the work I do, I would have to go into remote viewing, into a psychic viewing mode, to scan people's aura and chakra, spiritual energy centers known as the chakras, and see what is affecting them at that level. Yeah,
that's very interesting.
Yeah, it's very intense,
but amazing. And does it affect you when you do the work?
I have to definitely be prepared. So I live a life where I always have to be shielding myself, make sure my energy and vibration is optimal, make sure I am healed as possible before I go into a client space. If I've had some extra challenges or feeling tired, I will not enter that space for that person. But I do have my spirit. My life is that. The way I live, the way I live to hold space to help heal others, I take that very seriously, because going into someone's space to deal with their soul, their energy and consciousness is no easy thing. It's such a sacred, divine thing, you know.
So what's happening on the planet, this is for everybody, but you have to
Everybody.
choose it. That's what you're saying.
Yes, people have to be aware that something is going on, and the more knowledge people have of the truth of where they've come from, the truth about its history, the truth about where we're going, the truth about what's happening, the better it is for them to be able to, be able to function according to the truth of many things, because most of humanity has been functioning somehow not with the truth
Not with the
about
truth.
many things.
We've been living a lie.
Many lies and falseness and illusions. I actually have a term for this reality we've been, you could say, trapped in for so long.
So how could we effectively change this? By what? Just being kind to each other, by working on ourselves?
Definitely, it takes deep inner self-work. A lot of what we've been taught in society has encouraged all this spiritual bypassing. That is not working for people anymore. I mean, like, sometimes I would work with a client who have a physical issue and they may be taking tons of medication, be going to doctors, and the issue is something that an old injury from a past life that is cropping up in this lifetime. So, it takes somebody really knowing how to get access, the root cause of things for people at that level.
You think not just Trinidad and Tobago, but do you think the planet is ready for this level of healing?
Definitely. People are looking for help and answers, because the old ways of doing things, of finding solutions, is clearly not working.
Correct.
The density of the planet is breaking up in a sense, but it also seems like it's getting heavier, and that's because I told you things may seem like it's getting more chaotic because of all the chaos playing out in that frequency.
But I also feel like if time is speeding up, like if everything is
moving away from what is known as non-linear time. Earth is one of the only planets in this dimension that works according to time. Time does not exist in other dimensions and out there.
That's hard for people to.
I know,
wrap
that's
their
a
brain
whole
around.
quantum
That's
level.
a whole show by itself.
Yeah, could go into quantum physics and all of that. But time is accelerating. We have been pushed into higher frequencies to increase.
Notice that for many years
so
now.
We are moving away from non-linear time, and with that coming, everything is being amped up. Everything is accelerating.
So we are coming to a point where a shift is happening.
Big shifts, shifts, and in multiple levels and multiple ways. Yes.
There's even talk about a second planet or splitting of the two planets. People will stay in 3D and people will go to 5D.
Yeah, so we're the ones who choose to heal with the birthing of the new earth, the ascension of the earth, and align to and match the frequency of the new earth. That's what is happening. We're going through literally a timeline split right now with people who are choosing to stay in 3D and that chaotic, inverted, messed up reality and controlled with all the power and greed and all the atrocious things that happen into so many innocent lives, and the ones who choose to evolve now and align to the frequency of the higher dimensional 5D earth. Yeah.
So there
We're
is
in that.
Definitely.
This is what ascension means.
So definitely it means that we are choosing. So who would decide not to go?
No, so how I tell people, every choice you make can lead you towards your highest good, your highest healed version of yourself, or away from it, deeper into the inverted. And what a lot of humanity is choosing right now, it hurts to see that.
Yes.
Yeah, and despite, I think ignorance is a choice right now, because there's so much sacred, divine information coming back into the earth that was kept from us, that was manipulated and distorted throughout time, but it's coming back through people like me, through a lot of channels, through a lot of sacred texts that people can access. It's very easy for them.
But I think the truth is that if you look deep within your heart, you'll find the answers.
It also takes, certain tools to help you really connect deeply, because I'll tell you, there's some people, when I go into them, they can't even touch into their heart space. Their heart is so broken, so fragmented. There's so much entities there, closed off. They can't even think straight. So it needs a certain level of healing for people to even meditate and connect to themselves in a peaceful way. a certain level of healing, a certain level of clearing for them to even get to that stage.
So we
that's the
definitely
reality of
have to
it.
be connected to mind, body, and spirit,
Everything, if
because it's all in one. It's
yeah,
not
a holistic approach.
correct.
Yeah,
So
you can't focus on one and not the other. So it all.
Spiritual awakening is really something. It's like even like an alcoholic going to AA. You have to first of all admit to yourself, this is
You need
where
help.
yes,
Yeah.
I need help, and this is where I have to go, and these are the steps I have to take, and this is how it's
Again,
going to.
yeah, it really helps to get you right information because I went through so much wrong paths, so much manipulative people. But I mean, all of that taught me a lot along the way and brought me to the level of awareness I have now. And I eliminate a lot of the steps for clients that they don't have to go through what I went through.
Yes,
To
yeah,
get
that's why you
answers
become
and to
a
get
healer so that
healing.
you can help others.
That was part of it, and then many people come and tell me this is what you're meant to do. That's when I was running from it, and I don't want to hear that. I just want to live a normal life. That's too much of a burden and responsibility.
It is a lot of responsibility.
But 3 years ago, I was, you could say, given messages very strongly. That's when major activations were happening 4 years ago, and they told me it was time to really awaken and step into my purpose. That a lot of other evils was coming for the earth, and I cannot be distracted anymore. I need to focus on this work full time. And I think a lot of what was happening was preparing me for this timeline, this time and space. Yeah, when I look back on how everything played out. So my biggest growth and awakening, because we have different levels of awakening, would have been in the last 4 years. Yeah.
So a lot of what you said sounds a little bit frightening, a little bit scary.
That's nice stuff we just been talking about.
And I know that there is light at the end of the tunnel. I too believe that this is the dawn of the
A lot of
golden
light. We
age.
have access to that light, but again, all the false beliefs and things that have kept humanity disconnected from their own divinity, disconnected from the truth. It's like they can't even see it or feel it. So they need to really clear all those things, those layers of illusions and falseness and trauma to be able to access it and really receive it and let it help them grow and expand.
And we all could be the divine beings that we were meant to be.
This is what we're discussing, is not to cause fear, but it's to make people aware. We need awareness more than ever for people to be able to really step into their most healed, authentic, divine selves. Because the more of us do that, the more we can co-create together and create a planet of paradise, transformations and solutions from a healed consciousness, from a raised vibration and consciousness, from unity, from heart, being centered in our heart. That's what we need. And it takes each person taking that responsibility within themselves to step into that journey and be the most healed, authentic version of themselves. Because many people walking around do not know who they are. They're still functioning according to all the false beliefs that have been embedded in them, all the false identities, all the labels, functioning according to anxiety, fear, frustration. They're not able to heal, lead in a clear, heart-centered way. So the more people do this for themselves and we come together in that energy, the more transformations and magic we could create
I would say,
on this planet.
I would say the best gift you can give to the planet is a heal you.
Yes.
So the more you're healed, the more your interaction would affect the ripple that's on the planet.
Definitely.
And your effect will definitely be a positive one.
Because I was telling you, healing ourselves is not just for the highest good of me or that individual or you, it ripples across the entire collective, the entire earth, even through all of divinity of creation. And it involves many levels and layers when we talk about self-healing, working with the right authentic healers and modalities, nourishing our body with high vibrational foods, drinks, having spiritual discipline, having a proper spiritual practice, support, not depending on medication, and
exercise, eating healthy, living healthy,
having a nourishing environment. So it's many different levels to this.
So thank you so much, Rianna, for joining us on Ripple Effect
Evolution.
My pleasure. It's definitely an evolution that's coming, and this show plans to give you more of that. So thank you so much for viewing, and remember, heal you means a healed planet.